If you are already on this calculator, you're probably reading our blog because you probably clicked on this blog and you've scrolled down to this part here, and then you've clicked cost of living calculator, and this page has opened up. Now you can go to this page by just a Google search as well by typing in cost of living calculator study Australia in the Google search or the browser that you're using. So you end up coming onto this page, and then you can click cost of living calculator over here, and this is the page that opens up. So either way, you end up on this page. So let's start with this calculator. Here you have the currency. You can choose one of the currencies that's on the list here on the drop down menu. Then you can select weekly, monthly, or annual expenses, and the total will end up coming here. Then you can go to the next page or the previous page over here. Now, which city would you like to live in? Typically, most people probably know someone in Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, Brisbane, those kind of big cities. But these little cities which are here, the Canberra, Adelaide, Hobart, and Darwin. So I'm just going to click Darwin and click next. The next question it's asking me is, where would you like to live, in the city or in the suburbs? Well, if you click city, it's obviously going to be a little bit dearer or expensive compared to the suburbs. But if you're a student, you typically want to live in the city. So I'm just going to click city, not because it's expensive, but because there's more job opportunities in the city and there's a lot to do, and you actually want to study and enjoy the city itself. And once you click next, what type of accommodation are you interested in? You got homestay, shared house, one bedroom unit, and managed apartment. So if I click homestay, you'll actually see what happens here. I can click on more info and it'll tell you the description of all these different kinds of accommodation types. So if I choose homestay, you'll be sure to receive a warm welcome to Australia. Homestay is an excellent choice for many international students as it offers a valuable cultural exchange with your local host family. The upfront price of homestay can seem higher as all utilities, costs, and meals are covered. The family you live with will provide you with a bedroom, pay all the utility bills. When I say utility bills, we're talking about the electricity bills, the Wi-Fi bills, any other bills that are included when you're living in a home. Of course, they're not going to give you any pocket money. That's something you got to either earn yourself or bring it from your parents, and make some or all of your daily meals. So that's really important. If you've never made a meal for yourself and you've had your mum cook for you for most of your life, which is probably if you are a teenager coming to Australia, or you are, early 20s, or you're 18, that kind of age group, then this would be a good start to be in a homestays. That way you get an idea of the country while someone is taking care of your basic necessities. The figure is based on a fee structure of an Australian homestay network as of May 2022. So next option we have here is a share house. Living in a share house will introduce you to many new people and potential friends. The other advantage of living in a share house is that you can split the cost of utilities with your housemates. While you will still be responsible for providing your own food, some housemates may be willing to cook meals together. The figure is based on a statistical sample of local market rental data as of May 22, factoring the utility costs. Now, in this option here, like you could live in as a housemate, where if you actually rent a big apartment, again, this can only happen if you're coming with friends to the country. If you are coming by yourself, and if you are trying to do this over the internet, or you're trying to do this over WhatsApp groups and other platforms, then it is kind of difficult because you don't know those people. But it is definitely cheaper than doing a homestay. Then we have managed student accommodation. If you'd like to live with other students and have the benefit of all inclusive setup, you should consider managed student accommodation. Student apartments are built around most major university and college localities and are ready for you to move right in. All cleaning and utilities are taken care of, but you'll have to provide your own food. Again, this figure is based upon the rates of Unilodge as of May 2022. What is Unilodge? Is just another managed student accommodation. It's just a brand name. There's lots of them around. So this is just an example that they've found these figures, the cost figures, from this particular website of the Unilodge. Again, it is a little bit dearer than shared, but when you are new to the country, this is really a good option if you want to go a little bit cheaper than homestay. Now, for one bedroom apartment, if you have loads of money, then this is the best option because you get your privacy, you got your one bedroom apartment, and you can do whatever you like. But when you do have a one bedroom apartment, again, the first few weeks will be hard because you still don't know the people or the culture, and it'll be hard to start a new life without knowing anybody. If you are an independent person, then private rental accommodation is the perfect option for you. It is also an excellent way to fully immerse yourself into Australian culture, live with the locals, and broaden your horizons in your new city. But this greater level of freedom comes with a greater degree of responsibility and can lead to higher expenses. You will be entirely responsible for paying all the bills, making all of your own meals and doing all required cleaning of that apartment. Again, this figure is based on local market data of May 2022. It depends on each and every city, so it's not exactly the same for every city. So, in my opinion, I think homestay or managed apartment is the best option to start with, and then you can move into other options depending on how you find yourself comfortable in Australia. So, I'm going to click managed apartment, click next. How often will you be using these forms of transport? Bicycle, look, definitely. Very often at the start, I would use bicycle if you're living in the city. Remember, we selected city. If you are in the suburbs, obviously you can't use a bicycle. Public transport, sometimes. Car, you're new to the country, so you obviously don't own a car, so that's going to be never. Taxi and Uber, maybe, rarely. I'd rather travel by bike or public transport than get a taxi or Uber because it's going to be dearer than the above options. And when you're a student, not having a full-time job doesn't help pay these bills. Next, how many times a week will you be eating out? That's a good question. So, breakfast, I remember my teenage days, I rarely had breakfast, but I'm going to say I'm going to eat breakfast 0 days out, but I'm going to have my breakfast in my room, which is pretty much cereals. So, I'm just going to click 0. With lunch, maybe a couple of days a week outside, just because I forgot to make lunch the night before. And dinner, so I'm going to click 1 night out for dinner. So, if you want, you can have a read of this more information that's over here, which will tell you what is the cost of groceries. Okay, now I'm going to click next. What price range does your food fit into? When at home, I would say moderate. Cheap, that word could be actually replaced with budget. Maybe that's a suggestion to Study Australia. If they're watching this video, it'd be good to change that word to budget. Then when eating out, I would like to do takeaway because I'm a student, so I'm not going to go to any fancy restaurants or even an average restaurant. It's typically going to be takeaway food shops. So I'm going to click cheap here, and then I'm going to click next. What level of services and products do you require? Look, at the start, I'm going to click none for the gym because I can exercise in my room. If I wanted to, haircut, well, let's go for cheap for now. Cosmetics, again, cheap. Mobile plan, depends how many times you're going to call your friends back home, your parents. So at the start, maybe just pick moderate. Well, you can switch back to cheap later on when you're not going to be calling them more often once you have your internet all set up. Let's click next. What price range do your clothing purchases fit into? Price range, okay, I'm going to click cheap for now and maybe moderate, but I think, yeah, well, it depends what you really want. How many items per month? Look, initially you would have done all your shopping when you come here, but you might realize when you come here that what you've purchased is not quite in trend, so you might want to go and shop. So I'm just going to click once per month and see how that number stacks up. Again, you can change these numbers, play around and find what suits you and find the best option. So click next. How often will you do these activities? Cinemas, look, cinemas, it's usually Netflix and all the other channels that you get on the internet. So to start with, I'm just going to click maybe monthly. See, it says activities. It's already gone up to $92 for the activities. Live music, oh, well, not really. Not in the early days. I'm not going to go into any live concerts. Social sport, monthly for now. And night out, let's say monthly for now. We don't want to be doing night outs the moment you enter into this country when you don't know many people. Everybody's different, so you can just pick and choose what you want. Now the totals come up to 197 for these activities in this section. So I'm going to click next. This is the last one. So here you can see your cost of living in Darwin is $640. Now, considering all those things are same, if you look here, Sydney is going to cost you $833, then Melbourne's going to cost you $755, and you can check all these things. Again, you can go backwards and forwards into this and play with the numbers, play with the cities, and you can click start again. The important thing this calculator is missing is your medical insurance. That's something you'd probably want to add. I would suggest add another $25 to it, depending on which medical insurance company you go with. So that's another suggestion to Study Australia to incorporate the insurance costs into this cost of living calculator. And now you can click on start again and you can go back to, let's say, Sydney and go through this whole calculator again and find out how and where things can change depending on your selection. And once you've finished, you can always go back and read all the other blogs that are in this section over here to understand what you're up for in these, so you can understand all the aspects of coming to Australia and studying. So there's quite a few of these blogs. They are here as well, and if you go to Study Australia website over here, they're here as well. So let's say you want to visit a cafe and have a breakfast in Darwin, there's a blog for that. Let's say you want to visit Brisbane and see a few places. There's a blog for that. There's quite a few blogs, as I said. Just feel free to have a look at them.